medicine man. Right on the History Channel, they put it right in your face. And they show you how either they destroyed the mosque or they converted it into a what? Catholic church. And that's what they did to the Alamo, a Catholic church. The one in San Pedro was turned into a Catholic church. They put the cross up to show that you were conquered. And gave you a new God and a new religion. Yes, sir.
I'm hearing an Alamo.
Alabama, Tallahassee, all your names are on over 500 states and cities around this country and in Canada. And we don't even pay attention to it. Medina. What y'all think this place used to be called?
Mecca.
Ask Abraham Lincoln. Because he been talking about it. I was watching that copy, the sister gave me a copy of Abraham Lincoln, and I was just paying attention to a lot of things that we never oversee. Y'all know the German boy who was painting pictures of Abraham Lincoln in Moorish attire. They told him that his head, he would be beheaded if he put one more cartoon out in the Horace Greeley owned the newspaper at that time. And he was publishing these little comic articles of Abraham Lincoln. And Abraham Lincoln was in his Moorish attire. Had his Moorish saber, the whole nine. And he called, one of the cartoons, he called it Lifting the Veil. And when he pulling up the veil, it's in a couple of books now. Abraham Lincoln was under the veil, dressed as a Moor.
J. Rogers, right? It's in J. Rogers. J. Rogers. J.
What book of J. Rogers?
There's so much Moorish history right here in this hemisphere. Y'all got one of the biggest pyramids in America on the planet. Not too far from y'all. Ain't nobody went to see it yet.
Is that over there?
The 14th Amendment was designed whereby the people would be turned into fictions and enslaved, and the masters would become the corporations, and the corporations would have all the power and authority. The United States today is owned by 500 corporations. All those 500 corporations can be traced to the Bank of London. And in the town square is 4 major banks over there, and all of them corporations. Every gas station out here, BP, Citigo, Shell, all of them are owned by this one little banking conglomerate.
Which is that?
And in the treaty...
Which one is that, sir?
Huh?
Do you know which conglomerate owns all the BP, British Petroleum? Who?
The Bank of London.
Oh, the Bank of London, okay.
But it's 4 of them actually over there, but it's that 13 families that's controlling it all. But they own this corporation here. And we lost sight of who we were. We took on the fiction. And because we took on the fiction, we no longer were part of the family of nations. And you cannot be judged in the world court for doing nothing to something that doesn't exist, or to the animals of the earth. Because you got to remember, the law of their land is the Bible. And according to the Bible, God gave man dominion over all the animals of the earth. Y'all don't understand how the Bible is such a major key in this whole thing. Because everything they're doing under divine right. Remember, how did they separate from England under George? He became a tyrant and they would no longer wanted to be under George. How did they sever their ties with George?
They declared their independence.
They declared their independence under what? Under whose authority?
God-given right.
God. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal and endowed by their what?
Yeah.
With what?
Certain unalienable rights.
There it is. Well, where's yours? Why ain't you severed your ties with the tyrant?
Demonstrate, Mom.
Who you waiting on? Jesus? They didn't wait on Jesus. That's what I don't understand. They did not wait on Jesus to get George out their mix. But we waiting on Jesus. I guess Jesus got the juice.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He like Harry Tubman, he gonna lead us.
But we got to understand what's going on. We should have made a movement a long time ago to take a part or parcel of what you call the United States, maybe all the southern states, and seed and separate. And go to the world and declare just like they did. If you read that Constitution, it tells you everything that they did. We read it last week. What was necessary to bring about some remedy to their grievances. George had dogged him out. They pleaded with him. He refused. Yes, sir. So they did the only thing they could do. The Constitution says when government becomes a tyrant to the people and the people suffer unlimited abuses, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off the bands of government and seek a new guard for their protections.
Absolutely.
When I talk about seeding and separating and setting up our own thing, some people look at me like I'm crazy. But somebody came into your house and did the very thing that I'm talking about. So something's wrong with us. For real. And the 14th Amendment is just unbelievable when you really analyze it and understand how this scheme that was brought under the 14th Amendment was diabolical, because everything that is being done today is a result of the 14th Amendment. And here's what's funny. It was never ratified. It was never ratified.
So that's not.
It, like everything else, is a fiction.
So that's not under the color of law. That's not considered part of the color law.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Like everything else. A damn fiction.
Color money.
And what? But see, it all worked out. They created a color of law. They created a color of money for what? A color of people. And we got fiction after fiction. We jump out of one fictional pot into another.
Yes, sir.
I'm a Negro. I'm a colored. I'm African. All I need is Jesus. I'm a Black American. I'm an African American. You still a nigga. You still a fiction.
They got a lot of these churches dressed up in African garbs and choirs and stuff, man. There's one big mega church, Reverend Meeks and Wright, Jeremiah Wright. He's got his.
Remember? Drew said if you ain't careful, your own brother gonna put you back into slavery. And that's all these are. These big churches are nothing but federal zones. They are an extension of the federal jurisdiction. If you don't believe me, look up Faith-Based Initiative. All the churches that received the millions of dollars from your boy Bush became his extension into the black community. He set it up where all your federal, you can go there for your Social Security, you can go in there to deal with everything now. You're going to have your clinics in these places, everything. You're going to get your food stamps there, you're going to get your government cheese from these churches.
That's what they get government cheese.
And it's the same thing that they were doing in Germany just before Hitler started putting them in the furnace. You have to rely on the churches to be used as the opium to seduce us into a deep, unconscious sleep. And while we standing there full of Jesus juice looking at black bodies being put in these incinerator plants, we standing there watching this, but we still believing that, hey, any minute now, I know Jesus is coming because I got faith. He gonna come and keep me from ending up in that furnace.
The killing part is that, the killing part, brother, is that you know that these preachers know what the demonstration is, but greed is more powerful than anything. And he ain't concerned really about your welfare. He's concerned about making sure that he's still getting whatever federal money comes. So if he got to push you to get that paper, then that's what's going to happen.
Whose job is it to govern our house? Okay. It's our job. We need to get busy. We need to get busy.
Brother Ahmad, speaking of 1868, prior to Lincoln